Hello, Trinity family. This is Pastor Doer, and this is your Theology in 3. Today, I'd like to talk to you about something that I find to be quite important in my life, and I'm sure you do in yours as well, and that's my brain, my mind. This is something that's very important for me because it helps me navigate the world around me. It helps me think about things and make the best decisions. But I'd like to talk about it in relationship to the Christian life as well. I was recently reading this book here, Your Mind Matters by John Stott. It's not a very big book. You can see how small it is here. It's a small book that really is kind of more of a point. It's pointing us to the reality that our brain matters in our Christian faith. And that might seem kind of strange thing to focus on, but there's a history recently, in the last few hundred years, of that not being the case. In the Enlightenment, this is the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, in Western Europe and into America, there was a movement within humanity, within culture, to begin to think through things a little more thoroughly. This meant that there was a resurgence in things like paying attention to the ancient texts, looking back at the original Greek and Hebrew of the Bible, and there was the philosophy was a major push. Building governments was a major push as well. So the American system of government comes out of the Enlightenment. Things like the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights, these come from the Enlightenment movement. And so there's this encouragement to think. This is where we get modern science as well, as the scientific method is developed and hammered out, and we see a movement there. We see archaeology actually begins around this time as well. So there's a lot of things happening within civilization that are encouraging the population to think through things. Now, one of the things that comes out of the Enlightenment for Christianity is a push not towards intellectualism and thinking, but towards pietism. So you end up with this movement away from thinking because some of the thinkers were challenging Christianity. Think like Charles Darwin and the origin of species and the theory of evolution. These kinds of things were pushing against Christianity, and so some of the Christian scholars and thinkers, instead of answering the challenge, they chose to move towards pietism. Now, pietism is the idea that we should live our lives correctly. We should live our lives righteously and holy, in a holy way. And that's all good, right? This is a call from God. It's very much in Scripture. It's something that's there. But it comes now in this period into the exclusion of the intellect, the exclusion of thinking, that you're called to follow a set of rules, and that's what it means to be a Christian. And I find that very troubling because I look at it and I realize, well, God has made my brain. He's made your brain. He's made us to think. And because he's made us to think, it's something that we're called to do, to think through these things. I'd like to read a verse for you from Romans chapter 10. Brothers, my heart's desire and prayer is for them, that is the Jewish people, the Israelites, that they may be saved. For I bear them witness that they have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. This verse is important because it's pointing out that the Jews in Jesus' day, they were very passionate about their faith. They very passionately followed the rules that they were given by the Pharisees, and they didn't really think through who Jesus was that well. And so Paul is saying they're very zealous, they're very passionate, they're on fire for the Lord, but they've got it all wrong. They didn't think through things first. And that's the problem. And he says, look, I love their zeal. I love that, but I want them to be thinking individuals as well. And so one of the challenges in this book here is for us to be thinking Christians, not just feeling Christians, but thinking Christians. And so that's what we're called to do, to think, to read, to learn, and to grow. So I pray this week as you study and learn that you'd better know God and better understand who he is. I pray you have a blessed rest of your day.